Hi guys, Matthew Lippert here. I'm back with another amazing video. If you're new to this channel, thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button, will you? It helps with these YouTube algorithms. Hit that like button. Feel free to share this video on your social media with all your friends. If you've been to this channel before and you're coming back, thank you for coming back. I'm going to do a recipe here today. It's a Southern potato and hamburger casserole. I've made this before. It's just an absolutely amazing meal. It's fairly easy to do. And I'm going to show you step by step on this thing. I'm going to reset the camera and we'll get started. Okay, I got my pan heating up here on a medium heat. I've got 1.5 pounds of ground beef here. This is 85/20. It's nothing fancy. It's just hamburger. We're going to get this browned up here a little bit. And I'm going to season it here with some freshly ground pepper. You can season it however you want to season it, but for stuff like this, I like just basic freshly ground pepper, a little bit of garlic salt. I'm going to go ahead and brown this up, and I'll come back when we're near the end of this browning process. Okay, I'm back here with this hamburger. It's not completely browned yet. It's still a little bit pink, and that's okay. Go ahead and put about 1/8 cup of flour in here. Just kind of mix this up a little bit. This is going to help thicken this whole thing up with some other things I'm putting in here. If it ends up getting a little bit too thick, you can always add a little bit of water to it. You want it a little thick, but not like overly thick. Now, I have a can of cream of mushroom soup. This is a 10.5 ounce can. Put that in there. Turn this thing down a little bit. And then I've got a can of pinto beans. I use Sun Vista. That's just what we buy when we buy canned pinto beans. You use whatever brand you want, juice and all. This is why I put the flour in there. And then just mix this all up. And once this gets all incorporated, all mixed in, I'll set this, lower this down to a simmer. Just let this simmer for about 5 or 10 minutes. And just let everything kind of cook together. And so I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on the next step. Okay, I moved the ground beef mixture back to the back. Put it on simmer back there. Let that simmer for a while. I took some potatoes, set here on the front burner on high. Put some salt. When I'm boiling, whether it's potatoes, whether it's hard-boiled eggs, no matter what, when I'm boiling something like this, I throw some salt in there. Adds a little bit of flavor, helps them cook quicker. I'm going to let these go ahead and boil for a little bit. I don't want them completely cooked. Just going to, like half cook them, parboil them. I want them still, I just want them still where they hold together. I don't want them mush like mashed potatoes. We're just going to kind of half cook them, and then we'll take them off and run them under some cold water to cool them off. But I'm going to let that heat up and boil, and then I'll come back when we're getting close. Okay, these potatoes are coming. You can see these are still not quite done yet, almost. You want to be able to stick it through and then but you don't want the knife to hold the potato. So a few more minutes. And I don't think I mentioned this, but I peeled these potatoes and then I sliced them about 1/4 inch thick. Not too thin. You want them to be a fairly sturdy potato, but about 1/4 inch thick. And I'll come back in just a few minutes. These are almost done. Okay, I think these potatoes are about done. Stab them with a knife. They'll stay on the knife, but they fall off pretty easy. See them wanting to fall off. That's about what you want. You don't want them to be mush. You just want them a little bit solid, and they'll finish cooking in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and drain these. I'm not going to record that. It's just simple draining them into a colander and running some cold water on them to stop that cooking. But I'll be back for the next step. Okay, guys, Normally I would do this in a 13 by 9 Pyrex, buttered Pyrex, but what I'm taking this to go. I'm cooking it tonight. I'm taking it somewhere outside of our home tomorrow. So I'm using one of these foil pans, and I still went ahead and buttered it. Not that you have to, but this stuff is so doggone good. I don't want any of it sticking to that pan. I want to be able to eat every bit of it. It is so stinking good. So what I'm going to start with, I've got my potatoes all done here, cooled off. I'm going to put a layer of potatoes in here. I probably got a few more potatoes than I need, but that's okay. I like potatoes. All right, there's a good layer in there. Take my hamburger mixture. Roughly half of it. Kind of even it out there a little bit, you know. Then I've got a pound of shredded cheddar cheese, shredded by hand. I prefer to shred it by hand because when you buy the pre-shredded cheese, it has something, a chemical in it. I call it a coagulant, for lack of a better word. That's not the proper term, but it's basically does the same thing. They put this product in there to keep the cheese from sticking together, so it doesn't turn into a ball. Well, this, you can make a ball out of this stuff. It's a freshly, I took a pound of cheddar cheese, a block, and I shredded it. Put about half of it in here. Then come back with the rest of the potatoes. Another layer of potatoes here. You know, if you're going to err on the side of too many potatoes or too few potatoes, err on the side of too many potatoes. Just my opinion. So now dump the rest of this in here. Smooth it around just like you did the first time. I've got the oven already preheated at to 375. We're going to put this in the oven at 375 for 35 minutes. Put this second layer of cheese in here. And then we'll come back when we're done and show you what it looks like. I'm not going to do a taste test today. Like I said, I'm taking this somewhere else. When I get there tomorrow afternoon and heat this stuff up, then I'll do a little taste test. You know, I could have easily went with 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds of cheese. I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, so I like a lot of cheese. There you go. So I'm going to stick this in the oven for 35 minutes, and I'll come back when it's done. All right, guys, there she is. There's a finished Southern Potato Hamburger Casserole. Trying to get over top of it with the shadows. Like I said before, I'm not going to get into this tonight. I'll do that tomorrow. But that's a good look at it. 35 minutes at 375. Let me go ahead and put this back on the tripod and get me back front and center here. Hey guys, hope you like that recipe. Go ahead and try this recipe. Even if you're a novice in the kitchen, you may think I'm not very good at cooking. You don't have to be very good to cook this recipe. It's very, very simple. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. I'll answer any questions I can, as best I can. I know I'm not a chef. I'm an okay cook. I do pretty good in the kitchen. I'm better outside probably, but that's okay. But if you're a great cook, have at it. Make it your own. Change your seasonings. Do whatever you want. I rarely take a recipe that I like. I rarely take that recipe and do it verbatim. I add my own flair to it, my own style to it, add the things I like, take away the things I don't like. That's kind of what cooking's about. But go ahead and hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. That way you be subscribed to my channel and hit that bell icon. So every time I post new content, you get notified. And let me know what you think of this recipe. After you cook it and you eat it and your friends try, your family tries it, let me know what they think. Give me some feedback on it. And look forward to that. Now I'm going to finish this tomorrow when I take this recipe over to a friend's house. I'm going to finish it there. I'll do a real short video when I'm cutting into this thing and trying it and just to show you what it's like. in that respect right before. That's going to be the end of the video. But until then, we'll see you tomorrow. Hope you like it. Thanks for tuning in. Here's my finished casserole. This looks really good. You got to try this. Let me know what you think of it after you try it. Like this, share this. Thanks for watching.